Hi, I'm Dr. Amanda, and this is Freely Shine with me, Dr. Amanda, where every week on Fridays I will be releasing different wellness related videos on a variety of topics, all geared to helping you learn and grow alongside me because I'm continuously learning and growing so that I can always show up every day and be my best. The whole point is to help us create a community of individuals that are shining bright every single day so that we can be healthier together. So, today, what we're going to talk about is why I do not wear makeup. There are many reasons. Of course, one of them is because I simply don't have the time. No, that's not a good reason. But really, it does take a lot of time to put a lot of makeup on. So let me just take you back, because if you do choose to wear makeup, 100%, this is not a judgmental video. If that is what you do to feel your best, I 100% support you in whatever you need to do. I'm going to talk about my story and why I choose not to wear makeup. And this has not always been the case. If you were to see pictures of me, which I guess I will try to find, and I don't really know how to add them to videos quite yet. It's still kind of, I'm new. I'm new to this. Okay, so bear with me. But back when I was in middle school, high school, horrible acne, like really, really bad skin. I was really embarrassed about it. I was really self-conscious. I didn't necessarily wear a lot of makeup because I didn't know how to even make it look better because my acne was so bad that even if I put makeup on it, and this is also like, what was this? This was like 2006, 2008. Like, the makeup quality wasn't amazing and I had pimples everywhere. So even covering it up didn't help much. So actually, what happened was in my sophomore year of high school, I actually went on this drug called Accutane, which I do not support or endorse. It was a very intense drug, and I think it is part of the reason why I had such horrible stomach issues throughout high school and into the later years of high school, my junior and senior year. And it took me a long time to really heal my gut after being on Accutane. However, I will give Accutane credit for the fact that it did clear up my skin. It is not what I would recommend now with the knowledge that I have about the side effects of that medication as well as how it can affect you long term, but also the other options for really understanding, well, why are you experiencing such bad hormonal acne in the first place? Is there something going on in terms of your cycle? Are you not balanced in your hormones? Are you consuming too much exogenous estrogen, or are you getting too much estrogen out from products outside of your body, exogenous outside of the body versus endogenous, which is what your body produces? So, anyways, went through that Accutane process, did end up getting clearer skin as the result of that, which was obviously as a teenager like a huge boost of confidence to not be covered in acne. And then I really didn't know how to use makeup at the end of high school into early college. I did get a little tutorial from a friend in college, and I did start using it a little bit more. I always wore mascara and eyeliner. Those were always my big go-tos. And really the reason why I stopped was I remember one day I was taking off my makeup, and I looked in the mirror and I just was like, I didn't recognize myself without my makeup on. Like, I didn't feel confident in who I was when I wasn't wearing mascara or eyeliner. I felt prettier when I had makeup on, which isn't a bad thing, right? That's the whole point of makeup. But I just remember thinking in that moment that I didn't want my identity to be focused on a product or on something outside of myself. I kind of was like, well, this doesn't feel right. because that's not who I am. I'm not the makeup that I'm putting on my skin. That's not truly me. And it took, like, this has been, I think it's been about 2 years now where I've consistently not worn makeup. Like, to work, I never wear makeup. Um, and I think when I first graduated from chiropractic school and I first entered practice, I wore more makeup because I wanted to feel like older, so I would get more respect and people would actually like value my opinion, and patients would, think I was older. And I remember like one time I saw a patient outside of work, and it was right after I went to the gym, so I wasn't wearing any makeup, obviously. And they were like, "Oh, wow, you really look so young." And in that moment, I was like, "Oh my God, like, I don't want them to think that of me." Oh, there's Nala, if you can hear her. Uh, so, anyways, the journey that I've been on to not to wear less makeup, it has been about 2 years, and I think the last thing that I stopped wearing was mascara, because that was like the hardest thing for me to let go of. Was just I felt like without it I looked tired, or I looked I don't know, like sad or exhausted or whatever. And that was like the hardest thing to transition from. And now looking in the mirror, I just see me, right? I see me every day, and I have a lot more comfort and confidence for the woman that's staring back at me. And that was not always the case. Like 100%. When I looked in the mirror when I was in high school, I did not feel the same way that I do now. And I think it takes time to create that relationship with yourself. And it also is something that I think not wearing makeup initially I felt vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like I didn't have this protection from the world. Like, with makeup, I felt I could present myself a certain way. I could be more professional looking. I could look older, be more respectable. And I started to realize that I had lived my life thinking that who I was at my core wasn't good enough, and that I had to constantly be battling being appearing better than I really felt that I was. And I remember I just was like, I'm done. Like, I don't need all this extra stuff. And my husband and I, we did go on, it was like, oh, it might have been like 28 when I stopped. Right. 2018. Well, anyways, because we went on this like year-long spree where we wanted to save money and we weren't spending anything on anything that we didn't need. And I remember when we were breaking it down, I was like, well, I really don't need makeup. Like, I really don't need it. It's an extravagant expense. And for us women who know, makeup can be extremely expensive. So the real reason why I gave it up was I was saving money. I was saving myself time, and I didn't want to feel like I needed something outside of myself to feel better every single day. Knowing that when I look in the mirror, I wanted to look in the mirror and know that who I was good enough at my core. And it definitely took some time. Like I said, mascara was the last thing to go. And then to the point where now when I look in the mirror, or if I look at my face on a video, of course, there's some things that I get a little embarrassed about, or I feel vulnerable. There's nothing wrong about feeling vulnerable. However, learning to appreciate what you have within and learning to let that out has been the biggest blessing I've felt in my life. And it's something that I do want to encourage other people to experience, is simply learning to get to know yourself really well and to love the woman, the person that you are from the inside out. Because really, this doesn't last, right? We're all heading to the same place. I could, unfortunately be hit by a bus tomorrow. It doesn't matter, right? My skin doesn't matter. In high school, if you told me that, woof, God, I would have disagreed with you. However, who you are at your core, and if you are allowing that to be the forefront of your life, that's what matters. And I think that there's this awesome person on Instagram. He's called The Urban Barefoot, and he did a post once, and it really resonated with me. And it was all about how the biggest ploy of marketing is to convince you in some way that you aren't good enough, right? Your skin isn't clear enough. Your teeth aren't white enough. Your belly isn't flat enough. Your clothes aren't fancy enough. Your shoes aren't nice enough. Whatever it is, you convince your consumer that in whatever way they are not good enough, and then you sell them the product that they need to be better, right? To fill that void of where they're not good enough. And obviously, I think when it comes to makeup, that's like the huge thing that it feeds on is our feeling like looking in the mirror, we're not good enough. And then once we put on that makeup, that feeling like, like this is who I really am. Or now I'm like the better version of myself. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if wearing makeup makes you feel confident, makes you feel power, all power to you. And my experience with it was that it was allowing me to further feed into that narrative of not being good enough. And that's something that I've always struggled with my whole life, is that underlying sense that I wasn't worthy, and I had to always be doing something better to be better and to present myself a certain way to make other people happy. And me giving up makeup, it was like I felt like I was like taking back control and be like, well, screw all of you who say that I need this to feel beautiful, because I don't. Like, I love who I am without this. So why would I pay, $100 a month or whatever it is to buy products that I don't necessarily need, that are just filling a void within myself, right? Other reasons why now I, still don't wear makeup is a lot because of the chemicals and parabens and exogenous estrogens and phthalates and things that are in a lot of our makeup products that can be really detrimental, especially as females, because it can mess with our hormone levels, and having more toxic exposure. Obviously, it's gonna increase your risk of cancer and things like that, but it can really throw your cycle out of whack as well, and can lead to a lot of issues that we're seeing in females, like PCOS and infertility and ovarian cysts and things like that. So understanding now more about how those products can affect me if I'm not purchasing, the best, honest brand products with, all their ingredients that I can understand on the label, which obviously those always tend to sometimes cost a little bit more. But if I'm not purchasing those products, how is that going to actually affect my overall long-term health? Now, I'm going to be it's not brutal, but I'm just going to be honest with the fact that there is one hygiene or beauty product that I still really struggle with, even though I know that the ingredients are really harmful for my body. So, like I said before, I am not perfect. I am still learning to grow. One of the things that we have been told, and I especially have been told our whole life, is that our natural scent is not good. It stinks, and it is not pleasant to others to smell you. So BO being bad. Body odor, bad. Even though it's very natural to sweat and have a body odor. However, from a young age, we are taught that how negative body odor is. So there are a lot of better products out there. I love you, Nala. It's probably Amazon. Anyways, there are a lot of better deodorants out there that are, like coconut oil based and all natural. And I do use them. I have a monthly subscription of them because I want to use more of it. But I primarily use it on the weekends. And then the deodorant that I use during the week does contain aluminum, which we know is a neurotoxin and is linked to increased rates of especially like breast cancer if you're putting it on your armpits. Anyways, I do use it during the week, even though I really don't want to. I still find myself doing it because I have this internal fear of being like the stinky chiropractor. Like I touch people all day long. Like I'm in their face, I'm in their business, they're close to me, right? I do not want to smell. Like that's just something that I'm still working on overcoming. I just don't want to smell and have them be, uncomfortable being adjusted by a smelly person. And my whole team knows this is something that I deal with because I constantly tell them during the day because I just tend to be a sweatier individual. So I do tell them, I'm like, please, you just got to let me know. If I start to stink, please tell me and I will reapply because I do not want to smell. So that is something that I am still working on. Yes, I've overcome the mascara and the makeup, and that actually was easier for me than transitioning my deodorant. However, on the weekends, I still do use my coconut-based deodorant. The brand that I use is Native. I do like them. My poor husband, I don't really care if he thinks I smell because he's stuck with me. So anyways, that is my honest reason why I no longer wear makeup and why I still use deodorant that I would like to transition away from. Again, as I've said before, this is me hopefully helping others come alongside them so that they can grow, and also it pushes me by having accountability and hopefully allowing me to grow further as well. So I appreciate that. If you have gotten to this point in the video and have listened to me talk for 15 minutes about makeup and deodorant, then congratulations. You're wonderful. And if you want to hear more content in the future, feel free to subscribe and turn on that thing that I think is like a bell and you get notifications, which is also really cool. Again, every single Friday, different topic, all related to whole body wellness, body, mind, and spirit. So hopefully you got some good information from this and you can learn to grow, and today you get to shine on. So have a great day. Bye-bye.